Well, the last few months have put a spotlight on the way women are treated in workplaces, with a particular focus on Parliament House in Canberra. Libby Lyons has been the Workplace Gender Equality Agency Director for the past 5 years. Today is her final day in the job, and for her reflections, she joins us now from Sydney. Good morning to you, Libby. Thanks for coming on News Breakfast.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Lisa.
Hey, Libby, let's start with some good news. Have you got some success stories that you can point to that you've seen over the past 5 years?
I think there are plenty of good success stories. I think the private sector in Australia over the last 5 or 6 years have really stepped up and have addressed issues of gender equality in their workplaces. As a result, we've seen the gender pay gap drop. We've seen more and more women and men, particularly men, embrace flexible work. And we've seen over half of our data set offer paid parental leave. So there have been some great strides, but there's still lots of work to do, Lisa.
Yeah, you talk about that gender pay gap shrinking, but it's still at a pretty glacial pace. And I've noticed that even companies or organisations who recognise it and see it then don't know what to do with it.
Yes, I think that's a disappointing aspect, that a number of organisations will actually do a gender pay gap analysis and find that they actually do have a problem, but then they don't do anything to address that gender pay gap. And what I'm asking employers to do is to do that analysis and then put an action plan in place where they make their employees accountable for reaching targets, for ensuring that they're not discriminating against women when they're hiring, promoting or giving pay rises, that they make sure that they're promoting women up through the ranks of their organisation. And if they did all of these things, if they addressed all of these problems that they find, we actually wouldn't have a gender pay gap.
But Libby Lyons, you and so many other people have been saying that kind of message for years.
Yes, we have, and I think we have seen improvement, and we must celebrate those changes and the progress that we've made. Unfortunately, organisations get into a rut. They think that by reporting to us that they can just tick a box now and move on. They don't realise that they really do need to take action. That is the only way you're going to address the issue, and that actually if you do take action to address gender equality, you will have a more profitable business. The hard evidence is there to support that.
Do you feel like we're making any headway on this push to try and see equal parental leave?
I think we're getting there. There's still over, about 50% of the employers in our data set who offer no paid parental leave at all, and I think that that's very disappointing. What we need to see now is gender-neutral parental leave. Parental leave that is offered and open to all parents. That is vitally important.
What difference would it make, Libby? What does it do to society if you have a gender equal parental leave?
I think the thing about it is that if we see more men being offered and taking up parental leave, it will ease that burden of the childcare and the unpaid domestic work on women, free them up for them to be able to participate more in the workforce if they choose to. Now, not all women want to work, and that's fine. Raising children and having running the home is probably the most important job in our community. But a lot of people can't afford to do that. So we need to see men take paid parental leave to take that greater role in parenting and being, active fathers.
And Libby Lyons, I can't let you go without asking you about some of the things we've seen out of federal parliament, out of the parliament in Canberra, not the chambers as it's such. Is it as bad a workplace for women as we've been led to believe?
I think that there are many systemic issues in Parliament House, just as there are in many workplaces in Australia today. And I think that it is absolutely incumbent on employers, and that includes those in Parliament House, those leaders in Parliament House, to ensure that they are overseeing and maintaining safety and respect for everybody, but most especially women who have been subject to terrible discrimination and other forms of abuse, really, over many, many years.
Libby Lyons signing off today after 5 years in a big job. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thanks, Lisa.